The transportation chairman is very upset with Uber and Lyft, and he is encouraging the ride-sharing companies to not miss an upcoming hearing.
Xbox,
Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Google, Facebook, eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin, the Apptrepreneur. If this is your first time here and you like videos about the gig economy, Uber, Lyft, Postmates, the streaming wars, Disney+, Netflix, Hulu, maybe even some gaming streaming services like Google Stadia, Xbox Game Pass, yeah. Well, hey, this is the place for you. Please consider subscribing by clicking that button and ringing that bell. We have content pretty much every day for the most part, and we would like you to be notified when we upload. But that said, let's talk about Uber because Uber, as always, is in hot water, although Lyft is joining this time. So let's take a look at this headline because I think it says it all. Transportation chairman warns Uber Lyft against missing upcoming hearing. This is already an attention-grabbing headline because we all know that Uber and Lyft don't like to cooperate with law enforcement. I'm reading that Super Pumped book, and it's fascinating that the steps Uber took to operate illegally in cities until they became legal it's pretty mind-blowing. And even a story that we did yesterday or the day before, depending on when this video goes up, we were talking about how Uber's lawyers were actually arguing with a lawyer for a good amount of time that they did not have drivers. Like they were independent workers in the transportation industry or something to that effect, but they're not drivers. They're not our drivers, to the point where the lawyer said, hey, if you keep correcting me, it's just going to take all day. And they're like, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So Uber and Lyft particularly Uber, are known for dodging questions, skirting issues, avoiding lawmakers. And here we have one that's basically going to be holding a hearing and saying they need to show up. So let's look at this. House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee Chairman Peter DeFazio, Democrat, Oregon, on Monday sent letters to ride-sharing giants Uber and Lyft warning them not to miss an upcoming hearing. I intend to pursue legislative solutions to address numerous issues plaguing the ride-hailing industry, many of which will be raised at this hearing, DeFazio wrote in letters to Uber CEO Dara Khosrowshahi and Lyft CEO Logan Green. These include conditions governing your partnerships with state and local governments and transit agencies, the labor impacts of your business model, and disturbing reports of public safety problems among those who use your platform. If you do not send a representative to testify at the hearing, you leave the committee little choice but to make these policy decisions without your input. Well, they're not messing around, although I am going to say, personal opinion, of course, and I've been talking about them for a long time, so I've kind of lost my patience with them as well. I think the world would be a much better place in general if Uber and Lyft were left out of these discussions. Because, again, all they do is they skirt issues, they dance around problems, they scheme, they lie, they cheat, they steal, and frankly, I am getting very tired of arguing with the guilty on what their punishment should be. Because it's like going up to someone who committed a crime that was devastating for someone to a lethal extent and debating with them whether or not they should be put out of their misery early or whether they should just live miserable conditions for the rest of their lives. Frankly, you did a very serious crime. I don't think it's up to the person who has been accused of such crime to have a say in this. But here we are because this is a business, right? So I think it would be perfectly fine if Uber and Lyft weren't there. But by that token, you think Uber and Lyft probably would show up. The hearing in question, called Examining the Future of Transportation Network Companies, Challenges and Opportunities, is scheduled for this Wednesday. I really, really wish I could attend that, but I don't even know where it is. I think it's in Oregon. DeFazio wrote in the letters that his committee has had numerous conversations with the two ride-sharing companies, but has been unable to secure a representative to testify from either, which kind of falls into line with the whole notion that Uber and Lyft, more so Uber, but still both of them, would rather delay situations than talk about them. because it's kind of one of those like, hey, if we're not there, you can't make a decision without us. And well, now apparently there might be. Uber confirmed to The Hill that it had received the letter but did not provide comment on its contents. A spokesperson for Lyft told The Hill the company is committed to engaging thoughtfully with the Committee on Transportation Infrastructure. Interesting words, particularly since the chairman stated in the letter that getting a hold of anyone to represent either companies was proving to be a very difficult task. That's not exactly the actions of someone who was interested in thoughtful dialogue. But I continue. DeFazio's letter highlighted recent reports of sexual predation by drivers, the need for background checks, and deactivation of dangerous drivers, and inadequate wages. I would like to humbly suggest also that the discussion of awful riders also be thrown in there, because there are awful riders who attack the Uber drivers, destroy property, and unless the driver happens to catch that person on camera and shares it in a video that goes viral, and when it goes viral, that usually means it shows up on Dustin or mine's channel, I think they should be included in the discussion, because the drivers are just as equally at risk as the passengers. Lyft last month unveiled new safety features to following a string of allegations from riders who say they have been assaulted by drivers. The new features came shortly after 14 women sued the company for mishandling a sexual predator crisis among its drivers. Well, nice to know that Lyft is, if nothing else, on top of things. Uber has promised to release a transparency report with data on sexual assaults this year. The investigation last year found that more than 100 Uber drivers had been accused of sexual assault or abuse over the past 4 years. Concerns about substandard wages for rideshare drivers have been at the center of a push to give gig economy workers full benefits and pay. California became the first state to require Uber and Lyft, among other companies, to do so. The two companies are planning to funnel millions of dollars into a ballot measure intended to overturn the law. So yeah, that's all regurgitated information that we know all too well. So this is going to be interesting. The thing is, this is probably normally wouldn't have been national news. It's just it's fascinating to see a chairman of a committee send such strong words to the companies, because the companies have, for the most part, not had a lot of pushback except from like little people like me, and trust me, my videos don't mean a hill of beans to them. So it's nice to see the politicians actually realizing that dealing with this company sucks. They're abrasive, they delay, they lie, they put off, they don't respond, and someone's finally saying enough is enough. We are going to make some changes. You are welcome to be part of those changes, but unless you are part of those changes, we're going to make them with or without you, so you might as well join us for the discussions. I think that's a very positive step in the right direction. As for what's going to come from them, I don't know. I think Uber's just going to basically waste everyone's time, to the point where I think the chairman might even have to say, okay, look, you're going to stop arguing with us on certain issues, or else we're going to rule on them without you, and you're not going to be invited back. But I don't know if they can actually do that legally. You know, that's just what I would do, because this company. Anyway, so that's where we're going to leave it. Pretty straightforward, pretty exciting, wondering what's going to happen. But what do all of you folks think? Do you think the chairman is overstepping his bounds for requesting this, or do you think, no, this is proper? Uber and Lyft deserve this. They've been avoiding the issue for a long time. They need to be a part of this. Or would you, like me, kind of prefer, I kind of hope they do shirk their responsibilities in this case, because I don't want them part of the process anyway. I would love to know. So comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly, and you get access to my Patreon's exclusive blog. Also, if gas prices are getting you a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back on every gas purchase. If you want more content from me, check out Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur vlogs, and Autograph Hound YouTube channels. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other fellow rideshare drivers out there, check us out at the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.